If you want your hormones to work right, you have to know about blood sugar regulation. What do I mean by that? Metabolic health has to do with how well your body utilizes the macronutrients, carbohydrates, protein, fat that you intake. And the vast majority of people in our country are not metabolically healthy. There's a test that you can get that looks at how well your metabolism is functioning, and it's called hemoglobin A1C. Today, I want to talk to you about what exactly is hemoglobin A1C and how your regular doctor is getting it completely wrong. Hemoglobin A1C is a marker of how much of your hemoglobin in your body has a sugar molecule attached to it. Now, that's done through a process called glycation. Glycation is putting sugar on protein. The thing is, glycation rusts your locks very quickly. It ages you at a rapid rate. We do not want glycation. See, your proteins in your body are the workhorses that get things done. Everything that your body does is through energy and chemical reactions. And these chemical reactions need enzymes, intracellular enzymes, in order to get the job done. And these intracellular enzymes are like gears of a machine, and these are made out of protein. Now, if you put sugar on these proteins, it gums them up. Imagine the wheels of a gear, and every now and then you put a little piece of gum on the gear. It doesn't take long before the gears don't turn and your metabolism doesn't work and your body can't repair. And if your body can't repair, you get sick. Now, hemoglobin A1C is a marker of glycation in your body because hemoglobin is a protein. Your body's not particular about which protein it puts sugar on. If there's an emergency situation where your blood sugar is too high and it has to get rid of sugar, it will put it on protein. And hemoglobin happens to be a very easy protein to measure in your body because it's on your red blood cells. And so hemoglobin A1C is a marker of what percent of the hemoglobin in your body has a sugar molecule attached to it. One of the problems, though, is that traditional medicine says that there's a normal range, and they call normal range 5.6% or less. So if your hemoglobin A1C is 5.6 or less, you're called normal. If your A1C is 5.6 to 6.4, then you're called prediabetes. And if it's 6.5% or greater, then you have diabetes. So you can tell by these numbers that I'm rattling off that it's very tightly regulated. And that's because glycation is such a massive inflammatory mediator. It shows massive inflammation, rapid aging. You don't want any. So ideally, your hemoglobin A1C should be less than 5%. Why does traditional medicine say 5.6% or less? Well, probably because they're looking at 90% of the population. And if they're really using that as normal, I hate to tell you this, but over time, that A1C is going to go up as far as what they call normal range, because we are getting less and less healthy over time. And we are getting more and more blood sugar dysregulation over time. This is part of that normal versus optimal. And it is such a glaring indicator of the problem that we use when we're interpreting labs in our system. And we call something normal, and then people say, oh, great, my A1C is normal. I have a free pass. I can eat whatever I want. I'm not struggling. It doesn't work like that. Glycation is bad, and you want as little as possible. What happens is when your blood sugar goes up, your body goes into alarm mode because high blood sugar is toxic. And there's three things that can happen when you have high blood sugar. Your body has to get it down. Number one, your liver starts making triglycerides. It turns sugar into fat in the form of triglycerides. So that's how you get fatty liver, is by high blood sugar leading to persistent making of triglycerides. And then those triglycerides get jammed up in the liver and it causes non-alcoholic fatty liver. So that's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is your muscles try to take in some of that sugar in the form of glycogen, but your muscles can't store that much. So unless you're very active and your muscles are burning the glycogen for energy rapidly, your muscles can only take a little bit. So if the liver cranking out triglycerides and the muscle taking it up in the form of glycogen doesn't reduce the blood sugar enough, then your body's like, well, we got to put it somewhere. Kind of like that movie, The Usual Suspects. We got to arrest someone. So let's just stick it on protein, and that gets it out of the circulation. And so that's the marker that glycation is telling you. How often has your body been in alarm mode from high blood sugar that it has to put sugar on protein? To be metabolically healthy, you really want to have that A1C 4.8 to no higher than 5.2%. Traditional medicine uses up to 5.6% because I think it's just that they're accepting that the population is metabolically unhealthy. Think about it. You are told that there's these diseases of aging that are normal. Age-related cognitive decline. You're gaining weight in your old age where you're not as young as you used to be. Suck it up, buttercup. You can't think straight. Autoimmune disease is on the rise. Cancer is on the rise. All of these things are accepted as normal diseases of aging. Well, that's because we call glycation normal. Glycation is a marker of unhealth, of dis-ease. And if you have dis-ease with your metabolic health and you have inflammation from blood sugar dysregulation and you gum up your intracellular enzymes with sugar so that they can't work right, of course you're going to get disease. So at Vitality Renewal, we use the optimum of 5%. We'll go, 4.8 to 5.2. But if you're 5.3 or higher, even if you're called normal, we say, you know what? You probably have insulin resistance and you have high insulin. You have markers of metabolic dysregulation, metabolic dis-ease. Let's try to get that under control. Good news is this is one of the things that is highly responsive to lifestyle changes. It's not a character issue. It's a metabolism issue. If you have insulin resistance, then that means that your body does not metabolize sugar and starch very well. So you really need to minimize sugar in your diet, added sugar, maple syrup, normal, processed sugars and unprocessed sugars. If you have metabolic dysfunction, if you have insulin resistance, then you need to be careful of those things. So sugar and things that turn into sugar. What turns into sugar as soon as you eat it? Starch, potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, wheat, and fruit for someone with metabolic dysregulation can be a problem because fruit has fiber, fruit has vitamins. Fruit also is higher in sugar. That's why it tastes sweet. So if you struggle with these things, you need to have more of a diet of protein and fat and vegetables. It has nothing to do with character. It has to do with chemistry. So look at your A1C. And if it's not optimum at 5%, then you're aging faster than you should. And if you want help with that, that's where we come in because glycation rusts your locks. I am the hormone locksmith. So I can help you unrust your locks by getting your metabolism and your metabolic health optimized. My hormone quiz actually has a segment on symptoms of high insulin. So take the hormone quiz, and if you score high insulin, there's a really good chance that you're not metabolically healthy, and we can work on that.